Hello there, gamers everywhere. I know it's been a while, but what can I say? What can I say? I have no excuses for it, really. I've been on vacation, and that should have given me plenty of time to do videos, but inspiration didn't find me, and I didn't find inspiration, and I just felt like taking it easy on my vacation, and it didn't become any more videos. I had got some thinking going, I had some videos starting up, but yeah. That's where we're at. But now, here we are. Here we are with Soulstone Survivors, and I want to take a look at what gives me the most effective way of gaining XP, character XP. Because basically the only thing I have left in terms of getting achievements in the game are, of course, getting all the characters up to level 170 so they can max out their respective skill trees. I have done this with 5 or 6 characters now, and I got curious all of a sudden, like, what gives me the most XP? What will give me the most XP so that I can do this faster? So I tried a few different ones because there's a lot of different ways to play the game or different ways to actually gaining anything in the game or gaining XP, like what kind of curse intensity should I go for? What map and so on and so forth? What should I do after completing the first level? Should I go for the endless arena with the boss mode basically, or should I go with the endless mode with like the normal enemies? This was the question I had. So I gathered my Houndmaster and I got to work. I have done plenty of runs in the Scorching Valley, and I did also in the Dungeons of Despair. Why these two? Well, the Scorching Valley is the easiest map. That one is on the top, with the first map you get to play on, and the enemies are the most weak there. They have less health and other stuff. I can't remember everything that the higher maps do, but they give the enemies more health and a lot of other things. So I've been playing on the easiest and Dungeons of Despair, which is the hardest one. So we're gonna take a look at the result of these different runs. First up, we have the Scorching Valley. Now this build I used was more of a flat damage kind of build, and it worked for the intended purpose here. Now we can see that my score became, or the experience gained, you can see the green crystals there, gave me 258.4 thousand XP. Now this is after a match time of 10 minutes and 57 seconds. We're gonna get into some math later on and figure out average, the average minute XP here. Why? Because I could. Or I think I could, because I believe my math is correct at least. I did this run again at the same curse intensity. The build became slightly different, and I wanted to see if there was a difference here, what kind of difference I would have. And this run was somewhat faster at 10 minutes 39 seconds. I got slightly less experience, about 4,000 less experience, or 5,000 even. No, 4,000, sorry. 4,000 less XP. And I checked the enemies eliminated there. I had more enemies eliminated on the shorter run, on the second run that is, but I had 4 less elite enemies killed. Only 4 elite enemies less. The same amount of Lords of the Void, but less enemies, but 4 more elites during the first run. This gave me the clue to figuring out that elites are probably worth a lot of XP, character XP. So I did another run, this time with a more of a poison build, and this one eradicated the enemies very fast. Same curse intensity, 62, but a match time of 7 minutes and 40 seconds. This time I killed 4.4 thousand enemies, which is less than previous runs, and I got 129 elites. but I still had a pretty decent amount of XP at 210. So it was far off the 170 I got from the previous runs, but I did it in 3 minutes less. I completed the run in 3 minutes less. I also did new characters. I created completely new characters and tried to see what I could do there. But let's check this. This one I think is very interesting though. First off, the Dungeon of Despair. I did that one at Curse Intensity 62. Poison build, pretty much the same, exact same build as the previous one. And what's interesting is that the match time was a lot longer, 9 minutes 23 seconds. So there's that. Now I will say that runs in for Soulstone survivors can vary a lot. They can be up, down, it depends on a lot of things. I mean, your build could be exactly the same in the exact same order for the abilities, but your passives and other things might vary a lot. And it also depends on where you position yourself. I try to position myself in a corner if I can, as much as possible. But at Curse Intensity 62, you can't really do that because you have towers spawning, you have other dangerous enemies spawning that you need to get away from, so you can't be exactly running around only in a corner. Why a corner? Well, I've heard that if you're in a corner of the map, more enemies will spawn because of the two walls, that 90-degree wall there. So you have two walls where enemies are gonna spawn quite quickly. They won't only spawn from those two walls, but they will be very close to you when they spawn, and because of two walls, it's gonna be spawning a lot more and a lot more frequent. But this run I made 256,000 XP, but at 9 minutes 23, that's almost 2 minutes longer. I did get a lot more elites though, at 157 and 4,179 normal enemies, which is funny because that is a lot less normal enemies than the previous run, which was much faster. So that is also an interesting detail. But I did get more XP, but we're gonna get into the XP gain soon. Now, the first new character I did, I wanted to try what gave the more XP, the endless boss or endless like normal enemies, like normal run enemies, instead of the endless boss arena, because I figured there should be a difference there because of the amount of elites that spawn, and there was. Not, I mean, as at this low level, it doesn't show that much, but at much higher level, it's gonna show because the difference between them is quite clear. With the first character I made who did the run, he made it to almost level 9 with 39.5 thousand experience. He killed 6,142 enemies and 203 elites. The amount of lords is the same for both runs. Now the second character, who coincidentally actually did the endless with normal enemies and in the exact amount of time, 20 minutes and 3 seconds, he almost got to level 8. He gained 34.6 thousand experience. That's a difference of about 10%. Enemies killed was 6,560, so he got a lot more normal enemies, but more than half, or less than half, of the elite enemies. So the elite enemies counted for about 5,000 experience in this case, at least, which is not bad. Now this is of course on Curse Intensity 0. This is normal run for a fully new character or fully new game file, save file. So this 10%, if this is at level 160, Cursed Intensity 62, those 10% are gonna be a lot bigger, of course. Now, I did also a run at Curse Intensity 0. I got 54.6 thousand experience and did a boss rush up to level 2. It took me 8 minutes 48 seconds. 480 elites. There's a lot of elites there. But I only killed 15 lords. Compare that to the curse intensity 62 and you kill 20 lords. And that's just one run. That is not going into endless and level 2 endless. If you had gone into level 2 endless and completed that, you would have 60 lords of the void killed. Now, going up to curse intensity a little bit, I went into 29 and I got 109.4 thousand experience and a match time of 547. This is without going into any endless. Not much there, really. Let's move on. Curse intensity 37, 150,000 experience at 5 minutes 52. No endless there. And about 89 elites. At curse intensity 43, I got 150.1 thousand and a match time of 558. So the match times are very low. I mean, they're quite quick, but the experience gain per minute, that's the question here. At curse intensity 46, I had a match time of 618. Still not endless. So if we look at these, I mean, curse intensity 0 doesn't count really, but if we take a look at these and go by average amount of time, like, or experience per minute, I try to do this with the calculator, and if my math is correct, I'm not an expert at this, believe me, I tried to, I took the amount of experience, and I divided that by the time, and I didn't write math, I didn't put in, let's take the first picture. The Scorching Valley, 258.4 seconds, well, 258.4 thousand experience. I did not write 10.57. I didn't divide it by 10.57. I divided it by 10.9 because 10.9, that's like the 0.1 is the 6 seconds. That's a tenth of a minute. And I rounded up and or down depending on how many minutes I had in the match. So at 10.7 I divided it by 10.9, which would really be 10 minutes 54 seconds, but yeah, you get my point. And that gave me an average of 23,706 experience per minute. Let's go to another one. 254.3 divided by 10.6. I did with that one, and that gave me 23.990 experience. So 23,990, which is slightly more per minute. And if we go to the next one, we have 210.6 thousand experience divided by 7.7. I run it up slightly up, but I got 27.350. So 27,350 experience per minute, which is a lot more than previous ones. Not yeesh more, but about a little more. Oh wait, now that I think about it, that's about 15%, between 15-20% increase, I think. Yeah, somewhere around there. Oh, well, at least 10 to 15% increase in experience. That's without endless. And if we take a look at the fourth one at 256.1 thousand experience and a match time of 9:23, I divided that with 9.4. And I got a result of 27,244. And the rest are just, yeah, I didn't count the, of course, I didn't count the new game files and the curse intensity 0, well, 6.2 thousand. The curse intensity 29 is 18.8. The 37 and I believe, yeah, the 37 and 43, I pretty much clump them together because they are very similar in time and experience gained. So they're about at 25.4 thousand, and the last one at curse intensity 46, it is 26.7777777 thousand experience. So, based on what I have done, the best option is actually to do Scorching Valley at curse intensity 62 and have a great build that just melts the enemy. Poison I can recommend. Poison is always a game changer. Poison and bleed. Curse and Doom works too, but well, I tend to stick to poison and bleed if I want to do a fast run, if I just want to farm that experience. And it works quite well here. Now, my Houndmaster is now at 170, so he's no need for me to level him up anymore. So yeah, I'll be saying farewell to him now, and I'll be doing the other characters I have left. Now, I'll be probably going back to this at some point to check out other builds to see what we can do with other builds and what kind of time we get. But for now, I can recommend the poison builds or bleed builds. And then do Scorching Valley on curse intensity 62 and go for the boss mode. As we saw with the new characters or completely new save files, that's probably a 10% more experience at least. Because the two new characters, new save files I did, they had the exact same match time, with the only difference being enemies killed and elites killed. And the one with the most elites gained at least an increase of at least 10%, even slightly more than 10% even. So go for the boss rush mode, because that one is gonna gain you a lot more experience. And don't do curse intensity 0. It might be easy, it might be fast, it might be even fun to just slaughter every enemy and lower in a second, but it doesn't give anything. It's not worth the time. Oh, a lot of math here, a lot of math here. Good I had a calculator, otherwise this would have taken an eternity. Anyway, what do you think of this? Have you guys maybe found another way of doing experience in a better way? I mean, my conclusion is Scorching Valley, Curse Intensity 62, and Boss Rush, or the Red Portal. And Bleed or Poison is the most effective in my opinion. It's at least from what I found. As for runes, I'm not an expert there, but you can see on the images what runes I have, and I'll probably stick with those if I'm doing a poison build. Or bleed, really, because the same runes also apply quite effectively to bleed. But I'm curious to see if anyone in the comments have any other builds that could be effective, because as I said, I have a lot of characters to complete here. I think, is it 16 characters now? Jeez, 16 characters, and yeah, I completed like 6, so that's 10 more. So I got a long way to go before I'm complete, or before I have all the achievements. And oh wait, I have 12 achievements left. Oh, god damn it. Oh well, at least I got something to do in the game. Although I do have over 120 hours in the game already. Huh. Oh well. I've been Swippin92, have a great life and hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.